I'm going to lose my mind. Hi, it's Tawney. I had previously filmed this video, like part of this video. I was already 5 minutes in. Then I got a text message that I didn't even freaking care about. And now I'm just so freaking mad right now. It's the whole point of why I was putting on my makeup is because I'm like so enraged. So I live next to a bar, and the freaking idiots over there have figured out that they can play music from their motorcycles and their freaking cars while they sit out and smoke and drink and talk about how stupid they are because they're all morons. And it's like driving me nuts because they don't understand that there's people that live right next door that don't want to hear the freaking music. And they always play crappy music too. Not even good stuff. Crap. So I'm like ticked. Just ticked. So freaking ticked. So I want to talk about makeup. So I've already moisturized my skin, which I've talked about. It was the Neutrogena Hydra Clear, Hydra Boost, whatever moisturizer. It's the gel one because I have oily skin. I forgot to mention in my favorite brands at the drugstore, like favorite products of brands at the drugstore, Neutrogena, because I just never go in that section of CVS because it's at the, like the back part on an end cap. But I would say that product is probably the best because I just don't like any of the products they sell. I think that the brand is overpriced and they promote like acne helping makeup. I don't know why I said that funny, but it doesn't cover, which that's the whole point of like someone like me, like as a teen that had bad acne. I wanted to cover it. I didn't want to get something that was just gonna help it. Like I wanted to help and cover. So yeah, that's kind of, it's been a day. That's all I have to say. My car is giving me issues again because we thought there was a leak and then we thought that I had ran out of oil but was still driving my car, and it's this whole big thing. And so my mom had to take me to work today, which I hate because then I don't have my own car and I can't make my own hours at work because then I'm reliant on whenever she can show up to pick me up and drop me off and whatnot, which I'm grateful she can do that, but it just like, it's such an inconvenience. And I said this since my car first started giving me problems a couple weeks ago. But I wanted to talk about makeup in this video, so we're going to talk about makeup. I was using the Believe Beauty foundation in the shade Linen. It's the Dollar General brand. It looks a little light, but I feel like it's warming up on my skin now. I had bought it like a year ago, like this time a year ago, like the end of September. So, and I feel like I'm like the same shade, if not like maybe a tad bit lighter, maybe lighter now. I had a good tan this summer, but then I feel like it went away. But I'm used that, and then my primer was the e.l.f. Putty primer because I haven't used it in a while, and I keep seeing pictures from e.l.f. on Twitter and Facebook that make me want to reuse it again, which I love whenever makeup, even though it's like the brand doing that themselves. Like I like whenever they promote stuff to the point that I'm like, oh yeah, I had that, I want to use that, because that's like the point. So now I'm using the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Concealer because I haven't used this in a while and I kind of forgot I had it. And I'm also using this because I'm so excited. I probably have a good thing to talk about. But my nose looks like crap. Do you see that? That is from this foundation. My nose did not look like that all day. It just now did that with the foundation. I don't understand. And I put the Putty primer to try and help even that out, so, and like remove texture. So I don't know. But what was I? Oh yeah. So they now have Flower Beauty at CVS, and I didn't know that. I don't often go to my CVS because it's not in where, like the town that I work and the town I live in, I have to go like 20 minutes out of my way to get there, which honestly isn't that big a deal. And it's like where all the shopping is, all like where our mall, which we might not even have after, you know, because they're thinking of, it's up going up for auction, and they think like a Sam's Club or a bulk store might be buying it out, which that sucks because we finally got an Ulta like a year or two ago, and now it's gonna be going away because the mall people can't pay their bills and keep it open. But the mall people charge too much money anyway. So I was talking about Flower Beauty. So Flower Beauty used to be in Walmart. And if you're not familiar, Flower Beauty is Drew Barrymore's brand. She has done an amazing job. I think of any celebrity that's come out with a makeup line, aside from Rihanna and Fenty Beauty, because that one was just like revolutionary, and like Rihanna's done such a good job, and like it's been a fairly consistent brand across the board, at least reviews and such. I've never tried the products because I can't quite afford Fenty. Flower Beauty I can because it's drugstore, but it was first at Walmart, and then they started phasing it out, and I think my Walmart was like one of the last Walmarts to phase it out because we had it for a long time. Although we had a lot of like clearance stuff for a long time because I guess it just wouldn't sell. And then they moved it to like a small clearance section, like against a wall kind of thing. I'm like roasting, but I don't want to take the sweatshirt off. So I'm just gonna pull the sleeves up. I'm just gonna deal with it. Just gonna deal with it. So they used to be a Walmart, then they went strictly to Ulta and Flower Beauty's website. It was like exclusive at Ulta. And now they must be selling at CVS, which that's great because Flower Beauty is more on like the higher end of drugstore. Some of their products are like $16 to $20. Some of the stuff is like $8 to $10. So it just kind of depends on like the item and like how popular it is and what type of item it is. And like I know their foundations have been a little bit pricey, but it's a foundation and you get a lot and it lasts a long time. So I'm not overly mad at that. Especially now that I'm like okay with paying a little bit more for money because I have this channel and I want to try out makeup. I'm drinking Dr. Pepper out of a coffee cup because I can, and it's leaking everywhere because it's hot in here. But yeah, my nose still looks like crap. Ew, look at that. That's gross. You know it's bad whenever you can tell, you can see it through the camera. So anyway, they are now sold at CVS, and I really like that because you can get a lot of really good coupons and really good deals at CVS to the point that you don't have to pay full price for like anything. And that goes between makeup, skincare, hair care, groceries. Like if you pay full price for anything at CVS, I feel like you're ripping yourself off because they always have such good coupons. And you like sometimes have to strategically plan with those coupons to like get things cheaper. I typically will like, if there's a if Physicians Formula, that's the brand. They usually have like a spend $10, get $7, or spend $15, get $7 or something. Like it's a very good deal. And like one product is like 14 something, but they include tax as well. So that usually bumps it up to 15, and then you get $10 of free extra bucks to spend. So you can go and buy like a whole nother product or two if you're getting from like Wet n Wild and Elf, and then, or Essence, or LA Girl, which I know they sell, but ours we do not have. We have like the more expensive brands. But I have been to a CVS that does carry Essence and LA Girl, which is so cool to see that in CVS. But then you can get like multiple products from them for free with those coupons and with those extra bucks. So that, and this is not sponsored by any means. I just really like CVS. I'd love it if they would like work with me to be sponsored. I wanted to work there, but they didn't hire me, so that's bummy. But that sucks. But you know, whatever. But yeah. So the coupons are really good. So I feel like this will be a good chance for me to try more of the brand now that I won't feel so guilty spending the money on it. And it's so weird because like I don't mind spending $65 on a Natasha Denona palette, even though that was a lot of money, because I know that it's like a good brand. But from the drugstore, if it's more than like $10, I'm like, oh, can I justify spending that much money? You know what I mean? And I hate feeling that way because then it makes it seem like the makeup's not good enough. And like, I'm not one of those people that thinks that drugstore brands are crap and high-end brands are good. Like I don't feel like, I think they're all equal, all have goods and bad products. I think it's just a little bit more like drugstore has some bad products more so than high-end does. Just kind of depends on what you're interested in, what your likes and dislikes are, and, you know, your skin type and all that. But I really like being able to do that. So now it makes me excited to go to CVS and shop because I haven't been in a long time. But yeah, I'm sorry if you hear the music. I'm kind of hoping it doesn't get picked up. I ordered a microphone from Amazon for my channel, and it has not come in yet, but it should come in soon. I mean, I just ordered it like Sunday or Monday. So I'm honestly not expecting it to come in like right away, but I still kind of like, I'm hoping it comes in soon. I'm trying to figure out what palette to use. Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use the ABH Sultry Palette, this Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is what the palette looks like. I bought this off Poshmark, and it was like only swatched or very lightly used, or like it looked perfect, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll get it. And you know, it was like half off or whatever, so I didn't have to worry about like, it wasn't overly expensive, but it was a good enough deal that I didn't mind, like, you know what I mean? but I'm trying to get more use out of this because every time I watch a YouTube video about high-end makeup, people are like, oh my gosh, the Sultry Palette's my favorite ABH palette. And I'm like, I have that and I need to use it more. So I saw that ColourPop came out with a new big like 38, 35 shade palette that has, crap, I forgot what color I was going to go into. I'm not going to talk about the colors I'm going into, but I'll just link all what I'm using down below because I'm not going to remember to talk about it. But they came out with a new like 38, 35 shade palette similar to their nudes. It's like All About Nudes was their original one, and now they have one that's like a different name, which doesn't really, like, they should have had it where the names were the same but like slightly different based on like the palettes. But this one is now a cool nudes palette where everything is like gray toned and very cool toned, very like deep, you know, darks, blues, grays, you know, your cool tone browns, cool tone neutrals and whatnot. Kind of, you know, along the lines of the glam palette of this palette, you know. And I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, I want it. And then I was like, I bought a $65 palette that looks just like that. You don't need it. And I was, and I'm trying to like get myself out of the whole like, don't buy a palette that you already have that you spent so much money on. And so that way I'll use the palette that I spent all that money on, you know? I think the music just got louder. I'm like gonna lose my mind. They have like no respect. Ugh. And there's no insulation in this apartment building, which I have found out. But yeah, so that's exciting that they came out with that palette. Someone said like, oh wow, another cool tone palette, a palette nobody asked for. And it's like, maybe you don't follow YouTube, maybe you don't follow what people are interested in, like consumers and stuff, but that's probably something people are interested in at this point. I'm like, Natasha Denona just came out with a palette that looks like that. You know, people have been asking for a long time for cool tones. Just because it's not something you're interested in doesn't mean it's not something that's like somebody else isn't interested in. You know what I mean? I think people tend to forget that like, oh, I'm not interested in it, so it's not going to be worth, you know what I mean? Like people just, if it doesn't pertain to them, then it's not good, or, you know, it's not wanted. Or I always see on TV shows and on like red carpets and things like that, and like promo pictures, people have makeup that's very light wash makeup. They have like a deep color in their crease to like move the eyeball from like the, you know, like the eyelid separates it. I'm mainly thinking of Wilhelmina from Ugly Betty. I think it was, what's her name? It's not Vanessa Williams. Is it Vanessa Williams? I forget who played her, but she always had it and it looked so good. And that's kind of what I want to go for today, just to kind of do something a little bit different while still sticking with the same colors and such. I was going to go with a purple look, but then I decided to just do something a little bit more neutral. So I'm just putting that right in the back socket thing area. I don't know how to describe it. Okay. This is kind of looking nice. It's not looking like Tawney Amateur Hour right now, which that's a good thing. This eyeball's looking a little bit funkier than the other one, but it always looks that way. So it's like whatever. No, that shade doesn't have sparkle. My brush probably has the sparkle. Because I don't clean my brushes well. Well, I don't clean them often. I do clean them fairly well when I clean them, so that way I don't have to like, I know that I've cleaned them. Even though I don't clean them again for a long time, which that's like my downfall. You know, it's my kryptonite or whatever you want to call it. My cup is like, it's not leaking, but it's like getting everywhere. Okay, now I'm going to pearl on my inner and brow bone. I don't know what else to talk about. I wanted to talk about makeup, and then I kind of like lost my train of thought. And the more I hear the morons next door, the more I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't focus. Okay, I don't know what shade I want to do. I don't know if I want to do teak. I don't really want to do ember. There's cinder, which that kind of looks nice. I really like rose quartz. Let's go in with teak. Teak is this nice brown shimmer. And we're just gonna dab that down. Yeah, it's not going with my cool tone thing. And it's getting away from the whole look that I had thought I was gonna do, but whatever. Makeup is about experimenting, not about getting it right every time. That doesn't look bad. Okay, now I'm gonna do the lower lash line. I wanted to buy some new makeup, and this is like, I've been in this kind of a mood lately, it seems. And I wanted to buy some more like high-end expensive type makeup since I have a little bit more money to spend now. Kind of want to like invest in makeup and things like that. But I'm not sure like what high-end eyeshadow palettes I want to get, because I know the Jackie Aina and ABH palette is no longer in stock, and everyone talks about it and how much they love it, which that sucks because then I can't get it. Which, you know, whatever. It is what it is. But I kind of was thinking about that one, but can't get that. I really like the new gingerbread or whatever the holiday releases from Too Faced, but I've heard that the quality in those palettes around the holidays suck and they're not consistent with their normal quality. Plus I'm not like, I don't like Too Faced as a whole like organization. I don't like Jerry Blandino or his sister. The whole thing with Nikki Tutorials, I don't know what her real name is, so I'm just gonna call her Nikki Tutorials. The whole thing with that made me so mad, and regardless of if it's true or not, if your name can be associated with doing something so disgusting like that and people think that it's real, obviously you're a bad person. Like, you're, you know what I mean? Like, even if it's not true and they didn't do it, the fact that you are already like proving to be crappy people to the point that where a lie being spread is perceived as true because people know just how awful of human beings you are, that like says a lot. So I don't want to support the brand at all, like have no interest in buying. But that palette was kind of intriguing and I like the, you know, color scheme. So I was like, oh, maybe I can like find some dupes in my collection, you know what I mean? Like trying to find ways around buying it because I don't want to buy it. So then I'm like, okay, what up? I just dropped a brush. So then I'm like, okay, what other palettes are out there that would be good to get and like invest a little bit of money in? And I didn't really want to go with the Norvina palettes, like the pro palettes, because I've heard people don't really like the consistency in those, and they're huge and they're kind of expensive. I was gonna go Pat McGrath, but that's expensive. So I really don't want to go that route because I just don't want to spend that much money. I just kind of don't see it being like in my budget. I just don't see it being something that I'm like okay with spending that kind of money. Something weird's going on with my eyelashes, and while I think they look decent, they're like clumping weird, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, look at these. That's crazy. These are like falsy lashes. Like, what the heck? We're gonna go with it because I like long lashes like this. So I'm just gonna like figure it out, you know? So yeah, I was thinking about something like that, but then I was like, maybe I'll pass. And then I was like, maybe I'll get an ABH palette, but then I'm like, I already have the one that everybody raves about. So then I was like, I don't know what other one I would get. And of course, you know, like I said, the Jackie Aina one is no longer being sold because it was like a limited edition one. And then I was interested in the Sigma palette that is kind of like a dupe for the Charli D'Amelio and ABH palette, which I feel bad because Charli D'Amelio never really got the spotlight for her palette. Neither did Jackie. They kind of were released around the same time to the point that you forgot about the other one and like nobody talked about them. And like now people are talking a little bit more about the Jackie Aina one, but still not as much as like she deserves. Because like if you're gonna have a collaboration, it needs to be like known. And I feel like ABH kind of like they're at fault for that, so that kind of like makes me mad at like them as an organization. But they're starting to be like, it's all about Norvina, not about anyone else, which I hate that. That's always why I've hated Huda Beauty, because it's makeup for Huda. And like, if she likes it, you know, that's all that matters. And it's like, no, it should be about your consumers, because they're the people that are going to be investing the money in the products and supporting your brand by buying things. But, you know, people don't always understand that when they're first putting out makeup and things. And so I'm not sure like what kind of, you know, I wanted like an eyeshadow palette basically. So I'm not sure. So definitely let me know in the comment section down below like what you'd recommend. I know people don't like Smashbox's like the what is it? The formula of the eyeshadows. They're just not like the best. I don't want from NARS because I don't like any of their palettes. Like anytime people talk about them, I'm like, they're so boring looking. Like they're never anything that I'm like super interested in. Okay, my nose is getting a slight bit better, but it's still very cakey. I kind of hope that my oils start to get intense, honestly, and I never admit that because I feel like my nose right now looks like crap, which now that I remember, I noticed that this foundation had always made my nose look a little bit gross, so I always tried to use a more like texture covering, you know, like putty primer to try and like reduce all of that on my nose, but it doesn't seem like it's working. So I don't know what that's about. I kind of don't like that. It's kind of a little like annoying, but whatever. But I don't know. I really like this highlighter. This is the ABH and Amrezy highlighter. I bought it, I believe, the second year it was out, and it was supposed to be a limited edition highlighter. And I really like this. It's like probably my favorite highlighter. I'm not sure if it made it as the #1 highlighter in my ranking my highlighter video. I think it did. I'm not totally sure, but I think it's a really nice highlighter. I think it looks good on like any skin type, which is the best. Like I love universal highlighters that can do that. Now I'm gonna go in with the L'Oreal Lumi Shake and Glow Dew Mist to try and help my nose a little bit. Just to try and see if this does anything. I'm just gonna be staying in for the rest of the night. And I always put a crap ton of this on because I don't feel like it goes on like in a couple spritzes. That makes sense. I don't know, but I think it's a great setting spray, you know, for dewy setting spray, but I just kind of wanted a little bit more there. But I'm gonna be staying here at home, just like hanging out, doing some dishes, maybe doing some laundry, making dinner, watching TV. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna be doing anything extensive, not going anywhere. It's already like 5:30, so I'm trying not to lose my mind, honestly. Like I wanted to film another video, but I think that the sound next door might be a little bit too much. Like I can't even focus right now, and that sucks because I don't want to put out bad videos. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to try and do a video and then it suck because I'm like distracted or whatever, because I've noticed that in some of my videos I leave the window, like my blinds up, and then I can see out the window, and then I like pay attention out the window to things because I live right near like a busy street, so I'm constantly like watching cars go by and stuff. I really like this look. It's a very orangey monochromatic type look. My eyelashes look freaking great, even though I was a little on the fence about it. I feel really pretty, honestly, aside from like my nose problem, but I think it might go away as the night goes on. Hopefully I don't forget that I'm wearing makeup and just go like this, but we'll see. I might put some makeup on tomorrow, but I'm not sure because tomorrow I took time off from work. My hair's a mess. I took time off from work because my car's been leaking some sort of liquid and I have to change the oil. So I'm gonna help my dad with that and then try and figure out what's going on with it. Cause I feel bad because like he's always so willing to help me whenever my car acts up and does things it shouldn't be doing and like making noises and saying things that it shouldn't be doing and should just be working, and whenever it's not. And my dad's always so willing to help out and help make sure things get fixed and get taken care of. And like I don't know anything about it, don't really know how to help, so the least I can do is like just, you know, try and put forth some effort into like helping him with it or whatever. So yeah, so don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Ring the notification bell somewhere down below so you get notified when I upload. I have a lot of videos coming up, vlogs, makeup videos, talking about makeup, so check those out. Stay tuned for those. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!